Yeah, me too.
And we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Friday night hangout. Good vibes with Allyson and I. And tonight, I'm so happy after a year and a half of having my channel, Jane the Seeker is here. So, thank you for joining us this evening, Jane.
Well, thank
Okay,
you.
Jane.
I'm like, Vogue.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, here, wait.
Yeah, it's.
There we go.
Let me do my Gerald voguing.
Oh, you got tiny. I have got to find something like that.
And sorry, I
Give
got
me
this half
something
in my
non-human.
nose.
Yeah, that's what we that's what with Fridays we laugh. We share what's going on during the week, things that we're interested in that we want to talk about. And already flowing, hello, flowing is here. Yes, another
Hi,
fun Friday
flowing.
night. The notification pop, that's good. And there's Teresa. Hello, Teresa, as always. All righty. Whew. So we were talking back. Well, first of all, just kind of get things started. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Allyson about this yet, but every week, Allyson and I like to kind of put together a themed question. And I made sure it was easier tonight, Allyson, because I know
You're giving me too
sometimes
much credit, baby girl, because it's always you that comes up with the question.
sometimes, when we talk, you give me ideas, and then I know last time we with Tangi on Wednesday, I know my question was a bit long and wordy, so I had to learn how to try to be more concise. So for
It's been a
our
great
theme,
idea. Your idea to do that. It's been wonderful. It's worked
and
very
I've
well.
actually had good feedback from people who are
Yeah, because
regulars
it's
to my
great.
channel that like themed. And for tonight, because I'll start with, I was going through my books and making room, and I came across my Brene Brown book, Braving the Wilderness. I love Brene Brown. I've had these books for several years now, and I really haven't read them because medication that I take has been affecting my ability to focus. So it's hard for me
Yeah.
to sit and actually read or something for more than a few minutes and be able to retain that information and having to read it a couple of times. So for some reason I was like, come on, just clean out your cabinet. And this came out and I said, oh, I should start reading it. And it just starts talking about being brave, being who you are, your authentic self, despite whether or not your ideas that you want to put out there might go against the norm or go against what a lot of other
Amen.
people
Yep.
um, you know perceive, especially with, because
Yep.
she's a researcher, she's a scientist, but she likes to research data on the human, I'll say the human condition, because she covers, oh, and really quick, TED Talks on vulnerability, it's on YouTube. Fabulous introduction to Brene Brown and how she thinks, and she talks about her life and her research. And with her talking about authenticity, I thought, oh wow, that would be a great question for tonight. So I made the this will be our question for tonight. What holds me back from being my authentic self? And I
Very
thought that
good.
would be a great theme question for this evening. So I'll just take that off for a second until we are ready to do that. And really quick, hello, Nancy. Thank you for being here. And oh,
Couldn't help it all.
Nancy, when you get a chance, can you please email me where you get your Ayurvedic golden milk turmeric latte tea mix? Because Shan loves turmeric. He loves doing the golden milk, and he's really interested in that. So if you can shoot me off in Facebook Messenger, that would be great. Um, and let's see, we also have Isadora. Hi, Isadora.
Hi, Isadora.
Tangi. Hello, Tangi.
Angie.
Uh, yeah, we had a blast on Wednesday. We have Sid. Hello, Sid. Um, and I think, okay, so I am caught up with everybody. Heather, my wrench got removed when you accidentally blocked me last night. My wrench. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Gotcha. I
Oh, and I
accidentally.
saw that Tangi did a live today. I'll have to watch that
Yeah.
later. Yeah,
Talking about some of
I
the
missed
things that
it,
she's going to
but I'll watch it on
be
the
auctioning
playback.
off. Yes, because tomorrow, I think, Tangi, you said it's 2 o'clock our time, Eastern, or 3. She's going to be going live with Ben, formerly known as Beneficial Tarot. It's now been there, done that. And he's going to be kind of playing the, like when you go to the antiques and you got the guy calling up 25, 25, do I hear 30, 30, 35, 35, 40, that kind of thing.
Right.
Barker, that's it, Barker. He's going to be doing that to help her get rid of some stuff that she no longer needs. And so I think that's a great idea. So that should be fun. So with Brene, yeah, what really struck me really quick, and then we're going to get, because Jane has a wonderful topic to bring up. It's not very long, but it's something that I didn't know about and I thought was fascinating. And I think for me, what really jumped out when I read this very first paragraph, all of this book, I think it has a lot to do to that we can relate to with our tarot community, and as being readers and us being so diverse in our guides and what we believe and how we bring our own personal beliefs into readings along with the guides and so on and so forth. Not saying one is better than the other, but we all are all very diverse. And when she and this is how she started her book, she goes, when I start writing, I inevitably feel myself swallowed by fear. And it's especially true when I notice that findings from my research are going to challenge long held beliefs or ideas. When this happens, it doesn't take long before I start thinking, who am I to say this? Or or I'm really going to piss people off if I call their ideas into question. In these uncertain and risky moments of vulnerability, I search for inspiration from the brave innovators and disruptors whose courage feels contagious. And she goes and lists like Maya Angelou, J.K. Rowling, and a couple of other people. And for me personally, I know I felt that, when it comes to when I do readings and what I feel inside for me is right may not connect with what another reader might feel or believe or what their guides might say. So I thought that was really interesting how that can encompass us as readers, in the community. So I didn't know if any of you ladies wanted to share your thoughts on that. And then we'll jump into what Jane, brought to the table tonight.
Well, I mean, one of the thought that jumped to my head, well, number one, when at the beginning of the year, when it was on Gerald's channel, or I don't know, and when everybody was picking their word for the year, my word that I picked for the year is vulnerability. So I'm like, when you said that, I was like, oh,
yeah,
wow, that's my word of the year. So yeah, I'm trying to. I've always been my authentic self, but just to myself, right? Tomorrow, it's like, this has been a really hard week. Tomorrow we're going to my husband's family reunion, and they are all, tarot cards are a no, psychic business, your media,
Sorry, honey.
no, they're all, of that other mind.
Yeah.
And so I've really, it's a struggle. And my husband, he's like, oh, do your channel, do what you want. Yeah, and even one morning I was sitting on the floor in our living room having our coffee, and he was sitting up on the couch, and all of a sudden I because I get smells a lot when mediumship.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I get the smells.
Yeah.
And I got a whiff of perfume. I do not wear perfume. Nobody in my home wears perfume.
Right.
And I got this perfume, and the message was, it was my husband's mother, and it was that she was very happy that he was back in Indiana, because we moved here from the West Coast. And so she had always wanted him back here, I guess. And so she was very happy that he was back here. And that was the message. And I sat here because this was before I believe it was before I started my channel. And so I was like debating, do I tell my husband about this message that I have from him from his mother? I'm like, well,
Did you?
She wants him to know, otherwise she
Right.
wouldn't have come through and
Yeah.
said that to me. And
Yeah.
so I said to him, I said, okay, this is going to sound a little weird. Just want you to know.
Your mom's here.
Yeah, your mom just came.
Like Teresa Computo, your mom's here and she has a message for you.
Yeah. And it was like that. It was like your mom's here and she's very happy that you are back in Indiana. So
What did he say?
and he's like, okay, because my husband's one of those men that says
But that's a thumbs up.
Yeah, he's about he says about
To the point.
10 or 15 words a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
familiar.
low wordy people.
You do the talking.
Yeah, and so he was like he was, I think it touched him, and he knows that I connect with a lot of different spirits and stuff like that. So
Right.
but so that was really cool. So but when you, Heather, and I'm not doing a channel takeover. I am not.
No, you're our guest, please.
I won't speak for Heather, but I think you're fine.
Yeah.
But when you said Heather, that when you were talking about the book and it's like, well, whatever the guides tell you, and kitty kitty kitty.
Yes, that's my Mozzie. I told you he looked like.
Yeah, my beautiful boy.
Yeah, they're all
She's
laid
got
out.
two of them. She's got two kitties.
Yeah, two trash can cats, and
Aww,
they're
best
my
kind.
my bottle fed babies. But she what I heard when you said my guides might be saying one thing, like, we could all be doing a reading together and we each get something different. But it can be the beginning, the middle, the end of the story. It can be different parts of the story, but also it's the filter through which we hear our guides. So that's why when we, to really be open and vulnerable, you have to be able to hear clearly, because there's going to be some stuff that you probably may not want to hear, or it'd be hard to process, so, because I know a lot of times I'll be watching readers and they'll be all happy, joy, love, great, everything's wonderful, don't worry, you're going to be okay. And I'm like, oh wow, whoa, you guys.
I do the same thing. I deliver whatever I get.
And I'm looking at the cards, and I'm looking at the cards they're holding up. I'm going, I know that we all have, because I know Jane. Is that
you're
me?
echoing?
I'm echoing. Why am I echoing? My phone's off. My volume's all down.
Now you're better.
There,
I don't hear
it. Because I know you were saying before when I was watching your live with Amy, that for you, the cards, the images are a tool. It's not necessarily, you know what the cards mean, but you allow your guides and your own intuition to come through for your reading, and you use the images on the cards, and though they may not be traditionally what the card says, you let the card itself, the images, speak to you. And so I wanted to point that out, because I tried to learn the cards, but at the same time, I also I use a lot of my intuition. So I really like how we're discussing this, and I wanted to bring that up, because talking about the filtering, how we're getting information, and sometimes, looking at the cards when people are reading, I'm like, really, that's not really what that card says. But then I have to put myself in check and go, well, maybe that's how they're perceiving the card. And then you said that today. So I learned a lesson from you, and now from other readers.
Well, right, too. And also, not only is it like each individual card, but when you put them all together, what do they say? What is the story that they tell?
Yes.
So anyway, so that's why I was like, one time I don't know, sometimes I get some things, and like I said, sometimes somebody will get the beginning of the story, because one time the night that Robin Toadstool Tarot and I were doing a live together, and Gerald comes in and he's like, well, tell me about my weekend, and And Robin gets very analytical, and I'm not analytical at all. And so Robin pulls his cards, and Robin's going, well, I see, it looks like you're going on a little drive. You're going to be in a park. There's going to be a little problem. And he's going on, and he's like, I really can't figure this out. And I'm like, and he's going on and on and on. And me, I was doing Lenormand, and it was like, boom, 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 boom. And if you're watching me, you'll see me going,
oh,
wow.
I'll have to look back and watch that.
And Gerald said he's going to put the two together. Well, Gerald's got so much to do, but he said he's going to put them together because I was like, when Robin, stopped and it was my turn, I was like, Gerald, are you getting married? Because we all knew he was getting married at some point, but I didn't know he was getting married on Monday. It was a secret. It was a surprise. It was a secret.
So
you picked up on it. Wow, that is cool.
I didn't pick up on it. I saw it. I saw it. There is a pickup on something, and there is a seeing something.
I love that, Jane. That's so cool.
And it was funny because and so our joke has always been, don't ask a psychic something you don't want to know.
Right.
And he's
I
like,
had that with
and I told Gerald, I could tell that Gerald was like, oh crap, this is a surprise. What am I going to do?
Be like,
and I could.
He asked the question.
Yeah, I know. But I
watch what you ask.
Look, you can see me turning red. This is what Gerald was doing. I could feel him turning red, going, oh no. And so I was like, I tried to totally downplay it. I was like, oh, da 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 da.
You're like, oh, but maybe I was wrong because
I never said that, but
maybe
I was
like
a
clarifier. And you pull up.
The clarifier. Check this out. Was the Hierophant.
Right, exactly, which is marriage.
Marriage. Like I said.
I got in 8 cards of the Lenormand. It told a story. It was a complete sentence. It says,
I love that.
You are marrying your best friend on Monday. If there was a Monday card, that's what it would have said.
Wow.
And I did catch that there was going to be a problem. And up until that point that he had watched our video and asked that question, there were no problems. He was getting married, And then right after that reading, the officiant called up and said, hey, I've got COVID.
I was just going to say there was a cancellation. Somebody canceled.
Was there?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but they did it and everything.
Got somebody else.
But it was funny because, so.
Anyway.
That's awesome.
I know. And then I had people after that going, oh, have you gotten a whole bunch of invites to go on your channel and stuff like that? And I'm like, no.
Everyone's just like, Jane might know something.
No
secrets. But no, I understand it because I asked for a Thayer was doing a reading with somebody, and because I hear she uses color, and that's what I'm doing because I'm an artist, so a lot of my work is the color, what I get for feeling with colors and things. And so when I heard Thayer does color readings, I was like, oh yeah, sign me up. And she mentioned color briefly, and then of all people to come through, she goes, your mother's here. And if she could have seen me on the other side of the screen, it was just like my stomach dropped, my heart started, because my relationship with my mom was not good up in, the last few years before she passed. And I'm still working through new stuff that I'm learning. And when she said, your mom's here and she has a message, I wanted to type in, no, I don't, but it was so fast when it came out. And basically, you have to let go of the past. And I'm like, oh, hell no, I'll let go of the past when I'm ready to, when I'm done healing, but it's not Thayer's fault. She was just, I asked for color reading and this is what came through. And I wasn't and she didn't know, what was what with my mom and I. So I think since I've been on YouTube, whenever I've asked for a reading, she is the only one that has ever said, my mom ever brought my mom through. So that was almost like a year ago. So nothing against there. I asked for a color reading and she just said, well, your mom's here. And she says, and I'm like, OMG. Oh no. So yeah, be careful for what you ask for because you never know what the message is going to be. You got to be open to it.
Which is what I was just about to say.
True, true. Oh, thank you.
You want to add to, huh?
She says a reminder of Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Ooh, Sophie's choice.
Compliment.
Jane's choice.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Meryl Streep's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about oh, that's right, because Hypnicity is in the house. Hi. Oh, that's Teresa. Well, yeah, Hypnicity did come in. She's in Washington. So hi, Hypnicity. Thank you for joining us. We also had Ross Teasdale come in. That's Rosanna. And whenever I say her name now, I hear the song.
Yeah,
Rosanna. Sure I didn't miss anybody else come in. And like Tantra says, yeah, don't ask for a reading if you're not prepared for the messages. Unless next time I go and I ask for, a reading, do I put a disclaimer? And this is an authentic question to you two. Is it good to put in a disclaimer saying like if there's a particular person
tell your guides don't let my mom through.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't say that to the person doing the reading, but you have to communicate with because I feel like it all goes, whoops, you can't see my hands. It all goes on up here, right? It's not, it's all here. Your guides. I always feel like we create a triad, me, the reader, the sitter, and the guides, and the guides our guides all get together. So it's between them what comes through. So because you can't ask for a reading but put stipulations on it, because that's not getting a reading. That's only hearing what you want to hear, right? So you would have to talk to your own guides and say, these are my boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm just looking at this. I'm trying to figure out what URW means, Isadora. And Sid, we're actually doing theme questions this evening. So when I do themed, I noticed lately that if a person has a specific question in mind and we still go ahead and do the themed reading, I feel like the cards that do come up or the messages from spirit will in some way connect with that initial energy of that question. So we'll be doing theme readings. But when we go ahead and we open up for who would like a card, go ahead and just, type in, me, and I'll get you started and we'll see what comes through. Allyson, was there anything that you wanted to talk about or add to the conversation before we let Jane explain the whole resin?
No, go right ahead. I'm all good. Thank you, though.
Okay. So Jane was teaching us something backstage before we started. That's fascinating.
I was teaching something that I know nothing about. I was actually kind of asking.
Well, you were enlightening us.
Well, and I was asking, and this goes for anybody in the chat, if you know the answer to this. We were talking about the Schumann resonance. Not somebody who's not Schumann resonance, the Schumann resonance. And normally, and it's supposed to be like the heartbeat of the planet or whatever. And normally it sits between 15 and 60, like hertz or something like that. Okay. It's a vibration. And it's sitting at 185.
That's a lot.
Like higher. DNA strands. And people are saying that this is part of the ascension process. So what do we think?
I think it's very possible. I know, Allyson, you were sharing insight just before we went live. Did you want to share and then continue on with your thought?
No, I just saw a little snippet, like an advertisement. I believe it was Gaiam that was talking about this. I didn't watch the show. I didn't see it. I have somehow just through my woo-woo travels seen mention of this, but I don't know And like I said, the only direction I'm pulled, and again, I don't know anything about it, which is kind of interesting. That's something that I should have looked at with my interest in Gaia, Mother Earth, and all of that. I really do think that my guess, and we're going to read on it, my guess would be this is her doing her thing and that it doesn't really have anything to do with us. But let's find out.
Yeah. Well, the polls are supposed
we
to
can
be
put cards on those. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we? And Jules Niner, she says it makes me sick and have headaches.
Yeah.
I've had headaches every day. I've had horrible.
Right. I think the ascension is happening. I just mean whether or not this pulse of the planet is part of that. Or is that her Gaia doing her something else? Her thing.
Like that maybe she always
we don't even know what it is. I mean, that's possible too.
Well, there's, the poles shift every 12,000 years about somewhere around. And the magnetic field of our planet has been decreasing. I mean, when I started flying airplanes when I was 16 years old, back in 1970.
I know, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but back in 1978, I knew that, we were talking about because you're, everything, your compass is what's going to get affected by this. Anything that's run. So because true north will now be south,
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What is the word again?
Resonance.
Well, resonance, but see, Tangi has, you can put
what this is, it's going on with the earth, this number, what is that called? The what?
The Schumann resonance. Say that. Can you
resonance?
Is that
RESON? Yeah, resonance. The Schumann resonance. Okay. All right, I'm gonna mute for a second.
Okay. Oh yeah, hypnicity. Happy birthday. Sunday.
Oh, it's her birthday. On Sunday,
yeah. My children were born in Seattle.
Very cool.
I lived there for a while.
It's funny that you want to come to Indiana, get away from the West Coast. We're trying to get to the West Coast.
No, I came to Indiana because of my husband's family, and I don't know that it's working out for me so well. Whoa. Okay, I got a flipper.
Oh, wow. Well, if whoever gets cards first, go right ahead.
Oh, I got another flipper. Hang on.
Every time you say flipper, I think of the porpoise or the dolphin.
And they call them flipper. Let's just take that one flipper.
So Sid said, I can never figure out the directions. Could this mean I will now be able to tell where north is? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how, once our bodies, I know you said like 10 to 12,000 years ago, and that's approximately when they had the cataclysm with the flood that destroyed Atlantis too. So they're finding out that that adds up to, and they're not saying that, the flood is just, a myth for maybe a few civilizations, but when you have, like, I think they were saying something like 6 or more civilizations that write down in their mythologies or in their stories about a great flood, that actually happened because, it happened to all different cultures around the world. And 12,000 years ago was approximately when Atlantis, went under. And hello, Lindsay. Thank you for joining us. And so I'm just going to go really quick. So I got the love card. I'm using Collector and Reads the Good Tarot because it's full of nature. It's like a nature base. So there's love, which is typically the lover's card in traditional tarot. And so you got the two energies, north and south, like a male, female, or if you're, it doesn't necessarily matter on gender. It's a relationship, a connection. And it's going to, I think, start bringing a more higher vibration of love and working together. I know it doesn't really look like that right now with everything going on in the world. But what I wanted to point out, what James had said earlier, when you turn on the news and all you see is all this bad stuff going on. But what they don't show you is all the good stuff that's going on. So it's that constant state of fear mongering. That's what our news networks are all about. No matter if it's Fox, CNN, MSNBC, whatever, one that you watch, you always see mostly negative to keep people in that state of fear and panic and watching the news on their phones. So they don't show you with all the good things that are going on in the world to combat the darkness. And I think that's reflected in the seven of air, which would be like the seven of swords. You have all these, different like coming up to you, attention to me, look at me. And then she's sitting there going, oh my goodness, who do I pay it? It's having to just know, and she has her mask on as well. So it's just knowing when to allow where you direct your own energy and how not to let all that outside negative energy affect you. And two, with the birds, two birds really resonate with the magnetic field. A lot of flight patterns are changing in a lot of these animals. Even underwater, animals are changing the way they, when and how and where they go, because of everything being, and it doesn't help that humans are screwing around with the oceans and the planet as well. And even, the butterflies, their species are starting to die out, especially the monarch, because everything's getting affected in the environment where they can't make that trip that they do every year. So a lot of that, I think, is reflected in what's going on here with this card. But then out of it, we get the 10 of water. We got the Buddha. And so 10 of water is that emotionally we're upheaving, we're putting, we're getting rid of what no longer serves us. We're getting that, out of our minds, out of our bodies. Also, more water, drinking more water, taking more time to meditate, try to find that happy place to go to when things get rough. And to end it, I got the 8 of fire, which is like the 8 of wands. So yes, this is the earth herself doing this, and it's speeding up. I mean, look where you said we're usually what, 30 some degrees or resonance, and we're up to over 100. So yeah, she's moving fast. And the panda and her riding on there, that increase in energy, creativity, that sensation of, okay, this is time to act. Projects that you wanted to work on has to be put into action. So everything really is speeding up. But we have to remember that, we can handle this coming from a place of love and compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I have. Miss Jane?
Yeah. Sure. Okay, and here we go again. Here's one of those, like, this card means one thing, but I'm seeing something else. But then as I
thing over here.
Yeah, but then when I went on, but I get the 5 of wands, the skerfuffle, like nobody's wearing the same. It's no two teams. Everybody's wearing a different color, so it's not like people picking sides. But what I feel like is going to happen, I think my cards are kind of switched around, but it's going to be, it's possible. Okay, here's a couple of different things. We're all going to either be going like, oh crap, and we're all going to be doing our best to save our own, homes, or we're going to work together as a team and put our energy and our wands together, to try and, but but right now I do know that this causes anxiety, headaches, sleeplessness, anger, issues like that. So I mean, this could be because of that it's causing all of this. And Gaia, she's just going, look, you guys, I'm just doing my thing. I've planted my garden. I'm taking care of the planet. This is what I do, and this is just what I do. And then what's going to happen is we are going to be learning about it and go, because here we've got the book and the learning about all of these pentacles that he's planted. We're learning, we're holding up, and we're learning about it. So everybody's, it might be a little too late for everybody to go, oh, well, what is this all about? And we're learning about it. But then the card that I get that I really like, I went to the Starseed Oracle and I got called. We are being called. Look at that portal. It's
Yep.
beautiful.
Go
Yep.
through the portal, and it says,
Yep.
soul gifts and training. It's time to step up.
Yep.
That's what we need
Yeah.
to do.
Thank you, Jane. And that's what I get too. This is all about what we've done to the planet, and this is her taking care of what she's doing, what she needs to do. Personally, I don't think it has anything to do with spiritual involvement and enlightenment and all that. This is her fixing her planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got understanding as the overall energy. This is Flowers of the Night Oracle. This is for us, that it's a release. She's going deep. This is the depth, and this is her intention. This is her taking care of her. We just don't know what the heck we're looking at. We don't understand it.
Right. And as well,
Understanding is the overall energy that's needed, right? Because if we want to know what it is, she knows exactly what's going on. It doesn't even matter if we don't. But anyways, and then I got Goddess, which is her. I refer to her as a goddess, Gaia. And she's one that I call on. Faith, Earth, and Spirit. She's got this. This, again, it's the same thing, but from a different deck. And the light in here is horrid. You can't even see what I'm holding up. And then the overall energy from this deck is lighten up. This is like lighten up on the planet, right? Lighten up what the heck you're doing, humans. You always have a choice, horse spirit. Make a decision and take appropriate action. I mean, it can't get any clearer than that, right?
Yeah.
And I also got passion, follow your passion, which is like all these people running around. What do we do? What do we do? And it's like, we've known about this forever.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's why they stay.
I've been doing my little part for as long as I can remember. Not that I'm like, oh, this is about me, but I'm just saying everybody needs to get on board.
Yeah.
Figure it out. How are you toxic?
Power in numbers.
What are you contributing? Clean it up.
Yeah. I mean, we quit using, we went down on our paper towel usage. I've got we don't use saran wrap. I use the beeswax, but you know, it comes from ethical sources. But you know, there was a card that I didn't show, and I'm going to show it now after what you said, Aries girl, because I was like, man, I got too many cards here, so I'll put this one away. And it says what we are to do is to loosen our grip. It's like we're sitting here trying to hold on. We don't, you know.
People want to keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, and it says
coping different results.
Yeah, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, and let God in.
Yeah, like shopping. People are addicted to shopping and having stuff and accumulating stuff and all this stuff. And that's part of the problem right there.
Exactly.
I won't even tell you all the crazy things I do. I take mine seriously, and I have for, it's just, everybody needs to do it. And you need to just care. You can't make people care. You either love and care or you don't.
Yeah. It's like every time you turn on your phone or you go, I turn my tablet on. If you go to any site, you have all these pop-ups saying, buy this, buy that, look at this new, you know, and it's like, it's a lot of stuff that we don't need. And the things that they should be pushing us to use
but yeah,
is
absolutely.
not, you know, the right things that we need to be, you know, really using and investing in. So she said, yep, change the ways you use your creature comforts. And really quick, while we were talking, Backyard Naturals Tarot, she can't stay, but thank you for popping in and saying hi. Brenda Tarot came in. Hello, Brenda. So nice to see you, sweetheart. And I don't know if I already mentioned, but Ginger Faye is here as well. So, alrighty, making sure. Yes, purging, selling. I've already given, 3 bags of clothes that I don't wear to one of the homeless shelters. I won't donate to the Salvation Army for clothes and stuff because they discriminate. They don't like to, from what I last heard, they don't like to give donations and help families that are same sex. They're just very, from what I understand, discriminatory. And what they charge for clothes too. You know, it's just ridiculous. So for me, I like to be able to give to the homeless drop boxes, because a lot of times too, not only will they help the homeless with these items, but men coming out of, abusive relationships, trying to get on their feet. They might have kids, they may not. So I like being able to drop those off for the shelters. So
have you ever heard of the Buy Nothing pages on Facebook? There's in a lot of towns they have this. It's called Buy Nothing. So if you have something that you don't want anymore, or you need something, you can go to the Buy Nothing in your town. And I mean, I've gotten clothes, I've given clothes. It's a give and take, and therefore, because I'm all about bartering. Right now for readings, a lot of times I'm just like, what do you have to give? I do a lot of trade with my hypnotist, and my hypnotist.
You have a hypnotist. How cool.
Yeah, she's going to be on my channel because I want to destigmatize hypnotism. But she's a wonderful hypnotist, and she's actually in Ontario.
Hypnosis is so cool.
Ontario,
yeah. So
habitat, humidity, free, and I know exactly what you're talking about, Jane, because last year when we were at the park, we saw this huge. It looked like someone was setting up a flea market, and we're like, "What's going on over there?" And I went over, and there are just like boxes of clothes marked, for what age, what size. There was boxes for DVDs. There were shoes. I mean, pretty much everything there. And I asked them, what's going on. They said, well, grab a bag, grab whatever, if you have anything to donate, if there's anything here you need, that's what this is for. So I actually had a couple of pieces of clothing that I took. So that must be what you're talking about. I hope they do that again this summer. That way we'll let you donate too.
But you're on Facebook too, so I'm sure you can find because you live in the city that you live in. I'm sure there's a Buy Nothing group in your city, and it just makes it nice because it just kind of rotates. Everybody gets what they need. You get rid of what you don't want anymore, and I mean, I got 3 wonderful dresses the last time. I used to work for Goodwill.
Yeah, they don't pay their disabled help very well. That's one of the things that I've heard about, Goodwill. They're not, but I won't go there because Goodwill does help people. So
just do Salvation Army then.
Well, Salvation Army discriminates against same-sex, couples and families.
They're the ones. I thought you said it was Goodwill. I'm sorry.
No, I know Salvation. I think I don't know.
I don't go to any of the big ones anyhow. We have all kinds of women's shelter help and that kind of stuff locally, and I just go to the little stores.
Yeah, but Goodwill, because I worked there. If one of my coworkers was deaf, and he got paid just as much as I was the supervisor, so he didn't get paid as much as me, but he got paid the same amount, the standard salary. What the people that they don't pay, like they pay $1.50 an hour, are the people who would not be able to get a job. It's the people who are on the extreme scale of where they can't really do anything, and so they have a place to go, and they learn how to put the tags on, and they can be proud of their work, but they don't get paid very much. But
the main place that I go to, which is Ann Arbor Thrift Shop here, and I can't remember the name of the organizations, but it's all for battered women, mothers, and all the people that work there are volunteers.
Well, that's nice. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Well, I spend a lot of my money for animals.
That's my favorite place to go.
Yeah.
I donate and I get things there when I need something. I'll go there first and look. But again, I don't do a whole lot of shopping.
Me neither.
So, if we were done, is there anything else you ladies wanted to share?
Not me.
Okay, so Jane, we've got 15 minutes. Sometimes Allyson and I go over 15 minutes, sometimes 9:15, and I know because of your back issue, you were sharing, backstage. Well, I think you've also openly shared with Amy, but you do have physical discomforts. I'll put it that way without, sharing too much if you don't want me to. But Are you okay for another 15, maybe
Oh,
20
sure. Yeah,
minutes?
no,
Hour?
no. Oh gosh,
Oh, okay.
I do 2
And
hours sometimes.
oh,
But I
okay. I
work
just wanted to
2
make
hours.
sure that you were okay. And look who
Yeah, no,
popped in. Hello, Gerald. Were your ears burning earlier?
Hi, Gerald.
Not that we were saying anything about you.
yes, we were. We were talking about your wedding. Oh, look, I can stick my whole hand up my nose.
I got to get
Oh,
some little
Jane, you're a
hands.
cute. Yes. Oh, what did I miss? So anybody in chat, this is going to be our themed question this evening, because of discussing, I was at the beginning, I was discussing Brene Brown's Braving the Wilderness. And she was talking about, vulnerability and still being able to be your authentic self, despite whether or not what you feel may or may not, go against, the traditional norm. And it's a great book. I just started picking up to read it again, and so we came up with this question based on that, and it's what holds me back from being my authentic self. So if you would like cards pulled for this question, just go ahead and those big capital at the word me, and we'll get the readings going. Yes,
And
don't
Gerald,
ask a true psychic. There you go. He knows. Whoa, the first one was me. Oh my goodness.
I guess you
Okay.
have no secrets.
And it's interesting. That's why I was supposed to bring this deck, because I saw, Gerald, you were talking about this deck, I think with Richie last month or a couple of months ago. And I'm like, I think Shan has that deck from back in the day, and it's the original. And for some reason, it made me want to pull the deck out tonight. And it's the Green Man Oracle, Tree Oracle. So that's one of the decks that I have. And it's by John Matthews and Will Worthington. So perhaps that's why the cards wanted to come out, because they knew
That's a
you were
beautiful
going to be
deck.
here. This is the first time I've ever read with them. So
I looked at that once. Someplace, like there was a sample out and you could actually look at it. I think that's an older deck, right?
Yeah, this
'Cause this was
Shan's
years
had this for
ago.
years. Yeah, this was
Yes. Okay. In fact, I want to say I might have been at Borders. This is when I lived in Cali.
I looked at Borders,
but it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it still has a beautiful book.
Yeah.
It hasn't been used because Shan doesn't read tarot, but his mom loved collecting decks and sometimes pulling them out. And I'm looking at to see what the date of this one here, 2003.
Shan's mom collected decks.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep,
so cool.
And
she a hippie girl?
wore her Pentacles. She taught
Very cool.
art at NAU. She had all these books on ancient goddess, and she probably wore her ring or her bracelet with her pentacles to work. So
yep, women from that generation that were into this kind of stuff. It's like, I love hearing that.
If you're going to use old ones, I'm going to use my deck from 1984.
Hey, whichever. Richie has that deck. I don't.
So who
I
remember
you and Richie talking about it. Go ahead, hon.
Do we have a person? Oh, Gerald. I'm like looking right at it going, do we have anybody?
Like I didn't get it out fast enough. Now, are you sure, Gerald?
Gerald, sure I think you are your authentic self.
Yes.
I had to guess.
Right now I have Gerald, Ginger, Lindsay, Rosanna,
What holds
and
me back from
Isadora.
being my authentic self for Gerald?
Yep. I should probably mute too because of my cards and stuff here.
Oh, I never mute.
There are some readers that I wish would, because man, clunk clunk. It's just kind of like, whoa. Because I'm just really love to get into it.
Well, I'm a card sniffer and a deck shuffler, so.
When you said that, I went, really? I said my cards. Okay. There's much more to Gerald than people realize, except Jane. She knows everything. Oh, uh-oh.
Not true. Yes, it's so true. I know everything about Gerald. All right.
I'm going to have to use the book. So if you're ready, Jane, you
Sure.
go right ahead and let me.
All right,
I think
Gerald.
actually I'm going to start here. Let me put you, because I didn't do this the last time. There we go. So.
Oh, yay.
Sure.
Gerald, what's holding you back from being your what is it? Your authentic self? Okay, what holds you back from being your authentic self? Now, I can't believe this. This is shocking. I am shocked beyond belief right now. It's your boundaries. You have up a lot of boundaries. Like you've been really, you've got all these boundaries in, and you really only let those certain people see the, and I'm sorry, this is just the card. They have been tucked away for a long, long time, but you are ready to show everybody everything, but you do have your boundaries up. And so I wanted a little more information about that, because I'm only picking one card, being that there's only one question. And so if there is something, there is a boundary, if there is something that you put around yourself to protect you, that could be something that is holding you back. Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, and letting people through. And look, it's so funny because I pulled from Robin's Open Face Tarot. And what card did I get? You are holding yourself back with your boundaries. Now, boundaries are healthy. Always have healthy boundaries. But sometimes, I mean, and yes, I know you let your freak flag fly, but do you let it fly everywhere? I don't know, but
I like that.
boundaries. Yeah. And Six of Cups. I feel like this has something to do with, it harkens back to your youth. Oh my gosh, coming from such a big family and having to, deal with all those siblings, and, and oftentimes when I get the Six of Cups, this is somebody, this is a mediumship card for me. This is somebody coming through. And so this is somebody coming through that's telling you that it's okay to let down to let down those boundaries. So.
Thank you,
and
Jane.
My light sees your light.
And really quick, hello. And he gave you a little fan troop. He says truth. So, and it's so interesting because, Allyson, are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hi, Gerald. So I pulled from the Flowers of the Night Oracle. I also pulled from this African Goddess Rising deck because, of course, I always do now. So there's something here that the overall energy is purpose. So I think that to me, this means value, something of value. There's something that you could be doing, and you might not be aware of this, that you could be doing that you're not doing for some reason, right? Again, the message here is purpose, but I feel more like what I just said. Like there's something of value that you can offer or something, and maybe it hasn't occurred to you. Maybe it's just something that you're holding back from. But I have restore. So this makes me think that this is something that you have tapped into, done before, whatever it is. I have influence. So maybe something happened that had you pull back from this, or you needed influence for it to bring it out. But I'm thinking this is something that maybe there was an influence that you pulled back. I'm being more drawn towards that. And then I also have balance. So this is meaning you need to come into balance in some sort of way so that whatever this thing is that is going to prove purposeful or helpful or whatever for the greater good, for, you know, whether it's your loved ones, your family, community, your you know, whatever, whoever this is, that it would be helpful for. So that's that. And if it doesn't make sense, you know, maybe it will later. I don't need to explain that to you. So, but that's what I have of that. And then I pulled from this African Goddess Rising book that everybody knows. I absolutely love it. And it's fabulous. And I'm like raving about how incredible it is, but I'm still learning it. And I am reading from the book, which again, I don't normally do, but I'm really wanting to learn this one. And the funny thing is I have pulled this goddess for several people in the last 2 weeks since I started using this deck. And I shuffle, and I and it still comes out. I've had it come out so many people. So this is Allyson.
Oh, that one. Yep.
Right? And her message talks about miracles, which might not be as obvious of an explanation, a definition than what it sounds. So I am going to read this. So she was the first priestess, according to African folklore, or, you know, the original, the first priestess. Her guidance message is this: you are a magnet for miracles. You are a miracle. What if you truly allowed yourself to believe? All things are possible. Dare to dream bigger. There might be something in there for you, but I don't think I've gotten to it yet, Gerald. So this is the embodiment message. You claim you want miracles, but you take an I'll believe it when I see it approach. What if you will see it after you believe it? I think that's tied into this message. Believe that you deserve to be, do, have the world you want for yourself. You can be your true self, do what awakens your soul, and have your desires. This is life's miracle. If you haven't witnessed your miracle yet today, ask for it and allow it in. And the goddess declaration or mantra from Allyson is, my life is full of miracles. So that's the message. And again, I think Alyson's whole message is that you can do whatever this is if you just bring back into balance and restore whatever this is. And again, there might be an influence needed, or maybe there was an influence that took this away initially or whatever. This could be one of your gifts. I don't know. Hopefully you know. But again, purpose. That's my message for you, my dear.
Nice. And Gerald did say balance with boundaries is accurate. Tangi had to go. Bye, Tangi.
Hi, Tangi.
So CP has, and Holly, just really quick, we all have to realize we are one. We are powerful. Yes, we are. And he says, thank you, Allyson. So Gerald, I'm going to read from the book because it's the first time I've read from, I read with these cards. And so the card I got for you from this deck, whoops, be helpful if I do that. I got the holly tree. Got the holly. And the main energy for the holly is energy fuels every action. And so I'll try not to take too long to read this. The release of energy fires every action. Since holly burns fiercest and hottest of all the woods, it creates a passionate fire. At one extreme, action can be fueled by anger, leading to warlike actions in a nation or aggressive acts in an individual. And at the other extreme, intensity of feeling can create dynamic changes that are felt by everyone. This is the way of peaceful warriors. And I feel like that's a good part of who you are, who use their skills and strength to combat negative acts rather than inciting them. Holly urges you to take action, but to consider the possible implications of doing so, making sure you do not let your heart rule your head, which comes again with boundaries, or allow your energy to be used up too quickly because you give so much of yourself. You do a lot of lives, you do a lot of collaborations with us, and you do a lot of readings. Then that's not even included in what you do with your spiritual um, ritual work and groups that that you're connected with off of YouTube. So you're really putting out a lot of energy for others and making sure, again, this message with balance to come back and be able to make sure you balance that with replenishing that energy. It says here also, I'm looking for a word. Holly helps us to find the passion to commit to a project, be it new or old. And I know that you also have your art projects that you do on the side. So you're very busy. And it says, its fiery nature inspires us to take hold of life and seize every opportunity that comes our way. And that needs to be done with balance. And something really quick also that caught my eye with holly lore is that holly is one of the most ancient plants associated with midwinter. Its evergreen leaves and scarlet berries suggest both its immortal status and its connection with the sacredness of blood, and for this reason, it was considered one of the strongest trees connected with protection. So you have your protection in place, but be sure to check on that energy protection. And I know you do because you stated off, every now and then during lives, but make sure that you are keeping that balance. And the other two cards that I got, and I used the Avalon Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I got the Lady of the Lake. And again, absolute truth, courage, self respect, and responsibility. And this all ties in with being your authentic self. Learn to know when to give and when to take a step back, and to make sure you balance that energy and make time for yourself with your art and with what you do outside of YouTube. And then the last card I got from the same deck is the Death card. And so something has to die for something to be reborn. So I don't know if this is something that you're thinking about maybe doing less lives, or maybe something outside of YouTube that you're letting go so that you can focus more on your creativity. Um, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And I hope that resonated.
Good.
Okay, make sure those cards are all back. So, okay, Holly is very magical. Yes, it is. And it was so interesting because I had just shuffled and pulled that Holly card out, and I saw that
love
Holly DeShane just came into chat around the same time. So I thought that was kind of interesting how that all timed out right there. I want to do more lives. Oh, okay. So do whatever it is that yeah, I'm being told you get it, so I'll just, and you're welcome.
Yeah, Gerald's doing his world tour.
Yeah, no kidding. So next one is Ginger Faye would like cards pulled on this. Okay, let me go back to live, and here we go. So cards for Ginger. Okay, let me take that down. Exactly. Rural tour. Gets you
Yes.
dizzy. Okay. So I have cards pulled already, so I'm just going to go and. So Ginger, I got the Ace of Earth. So you are starting here. Let me try to get the glare. This is such a beautiful card. So I have the stag here, Ace of Earth. So you're creating. You're standing above, looking out, and it's actually like looking at you, saying, you know, it's time to start a new project. Are you ready? Are you grounded enough? Are you um, not just grounded enough? Are you stable? There's different levels of stability when it comes to starting projects depending on what they are. And it's beautiful because this is considered according to Colette Baron Reed, prosperity in its purest form, abundance made manifest. So you're working on creating or continuing to create that abundance and manifesting projects and goals. And I just love how it's just kind of looks right at you and say, it's coming. Are you ready for this? It says here also, the essence of prosperity is taking form in the material world. So prosperity, doesn't always necessarily monetary. It could mean you're prospering in projects, family relationships, um, new ideas, things around the house, anything that's really physical or tangible. So the prosperity, um, it's right there. It's coming to you. It's looking right at you, asking, "Are you ready for this?" And then I got the four of fire, which would be the four of wands. And with let me pull this up really quick too, because the four of wands, is building a foundation, celebrating, and I like using um, her book because of her slightly different perspective on the tarot. And with the four of wands says, "Yep, here we go. A new creative phase, a celebration, pleasure, and harmony in relationships." So this is what you are creating. I've noticed you're doing more lives now. You're broadening your invite, like you had Ivana and I on this past week, and I've seen you be doing lives with other readers. So it looks like you really are developing and moving forward with your channel. And it says you're creating that new foundation for your channel. And I'm also feeling like you're creating a foundation for developing your gifts. It's like you're also possibly planning a like either learning a new form of divination, or you're just maybe getting more into books and expanding your knowledge and creating that stronger foundation for your gifts. um, I'm just looking here to see, and it says making magic together with others is the focus at this time. So you're really starting to embrace and bring in the community into with your channel. And like also then so now Colette doesn't like having cards that are like disturbing. So for her tower, image wise, I got the tower card, but with hers, it shines just like a bright light. Something coming, the light comes through here, goes through the whole building and out through the door. So it's catching your attention. It's making you take notice. And with the tower, because it's not the typical things falling apart, it's surprises. So what is highlighted in here is that things happen really fast when this card shows up in a reading. Its appearance could portend a total paradigm shift or a sudden upheaval that takes something away in order for something better to take its place. So there's something that's going to have to be changed. Um, I'm not feeling with the other two cards that's anything really major, that's a negative or chaotic. It's just going to, things are kind of, I see like being shaken up, and, okay, what goes through the filter and what stays on the top, like when you do the flour and you're shaking it, and then, it breaks it down and makes it into a nice white powder, and they
Sifter.
leave the things on sifter. Thank you. So, I'm getting like a sifting, like you're shaking things up, trying to get what works now for you and letting go of what no longer works for you. And it says here, offer opportunities for positive transformation if I remain open with my if I re, if I remain present with my eyes open. So you are walking into your authentic self by doing more with your channel, building a stronger foundation for it, and letting go of what no longer serves you for you personally and your channel. I know it's like a reconfiguration of who you want to be so that you can be your more authentic self when you do your lives. And I'll end it right there. Who would like to go next? Jane?
I'm ready. Either one. Okay. All right. Well, a little different than what I normally do, or what I what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing is I have the Six of Swords here. Now, this is the Hanson Roberts from 1984. And in this card, normally it is a guy and there's a woman and a child, and it's the three of them and they're moving on to smoother waters. But what I'm hearing here is, and I know you are doing lives with other people, and I know that I believe you do recorded videos by yourself, on your own. And I feel what's holding you back is doing the lives by yourself. It's almost like this card is saying, go ahead and do lives all by yourself. Just pop up whenever you feel like it, and don't worry about if anybody shows up or who's going to be there or who's doing a live when they're doing a live. It doesn't matter. It's that you are learning how to operate your own boat and sail your own boat to where you want it to go. And what that leads us to is this learning, because you are on the quest for knowledge and for learning. So we've got this book that's at the beginning of this path that takes you on this learning path. And there's this big portal at the end that is just bright and shiny and full of the solar plexus energy that just, I mean, it's so beautiful. So it feels like you're like, well, I want to do this, but do I have enough knowledge to do this? And that's what's holding you back is, do I have enough knowledge to do this by myself? And so I also pulled one of the open face from Toadstool Tarot. And it's like you have to do this by yourself. You have to shine your own light. And that's what is, yeah, there's a divine being in that light. Yeah, sure. And that divine being could quite possibly be you. But, so it is. We go up the mountain, we learn all about ourselves so that we can shine our light for others. So it feels to me like what's holding you back is feeling like you can't do it alone. You have to have these people around you. And I'm here to tell you that you can, and you are awesome at it. And then, and I pulled one more card, and I got star ancestors, and there's the pyramids. And Thomas and I were talking about the pyramids the other day, but it says hidden secrets, lost wisdom. There's our book. And look a little deeper. So look a little deeper into yourself. Oh, I think Shrek's up here in the corner. Look there's Shrek. I love Shrek.
It does look like his ear there too.
Yeah, it's Shrek. Shrek's in the corner. And I mean, Shrek is an ogre, and he is just fine being his ogre self and burping and farting and everything else. And so I'm going to say, do more by yourself. And and one day this is, but what that,
Wow.
look, I mean,
there you go.
If we go down this pathway towards this portal, where does the portal lead? To our star ancestors. So I really, and it's going within to find them and steering your own boat. And that's what's holding you back. It's the not doing it by yourself and relying on others in some way, shape, or form. But do it, girl, and connect with your star ancestors or galactics or whatever you want. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, that's the Merkaba. Merkaba. That's the Merkaba. In the hermit, he has a Merkaba or Merkaba, whatever you want to say it.
That's a type of a lantern.
Yeah, it's one that looks for.
Oh,
it's one of these.
That's the Merkaba right there.
Oh, yeah. Right there, and it's like a 3-dimensional star shape.
It's Metatron's thing. So yeah, and that's what he's got in his lamp too. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, so tap into that.
And I like what Flowing said too. She goes, there is a star in that lantern, which also represents, your guides, your extraterrestrial, or your celestial, spirit
Lots
guides.
Of stars in there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and those could be your guides. Look at them. There's 2 of them up there. I only pointed out Shrek, but there's
there's something over there.
Oh, there's 3.
Kind of jellyfish-esque.
There's a woman.
Yeah, there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this up here too.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
And I got lanterns too in mine with the stars or glow lights in there too. So stars and lights all around. Well, I'm looking to see what Allyson got.
Sure. Okay, so I pulled from my why can I never remember the name of this deck? It's like my
star behind
favorite. That's one of my favorites. This is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle for anybody that's interested. The lighting's weird tonight, so you can't see how gorgeous these cards are. But and it's Ginger Fae, right?
Yep, it's Ginger. Yep.
Yeah, Ginger Fae. So the overall energy for this deck is relax. Relax, relax, relax. That's the overall energy. I wish we could see these better because these cards are absolutely stunning. We have nurture, and there's this witch, and she's sitting by her outside hearth, as you do. And she's got a rug there, and she's got all of her animals with her, and she's nurturing herself. I have breathe and focus, right? This is all about you taking care of you, concentrating on you, but taking more of a relaxed approach as best you can, bringing the anxiety down, which I believe that that's here to some degree. It might have already improved a bit, but the best you can do with all that for yourself, the better. But again, the overall energy here is about relaxing in regards to something, right? And this is for being more your authentic self. And of course, yes, if you can lessen the anxiety, but nurturing yourself, remembering to breathe, right? And a lot of people, especially if they're stressed or have anxiety, they're poor breathers, notoriously very shallow. Keep the breathing up here. Breathe in fully, exhale fully. You can do that several times a day and focus on whatever it is that needs to be focused on, that you are carrying anxiety around, that you are, whatever this is. And I hear these ladies talking. I'm not familiar, but I did hear what they had to say. So I also pulled from the African Goddess Rising book, as I always do. And I got 2 cards for you, and that's the first time that that's happened. So I think that's kind of cool. So I will read this one first, which was the card that I pulled. And then there was another one just screaming at me. So I have that one as well. So the first one that we have here is Queen Mother Nanny. Or no, we don't. I'm sorry. Why are these out of order? They are. I'm sorry. Forget that I said that. She's the second one. This is Nundi, and she's on this riverbank, and she's stunning, but my computer is not going to show how gorgeous she is. And there's her reflection in the water. And her message, her word, if you will, for this card is truth. So, because I'm reading both of them, I won't give a backstory on who Nundi was, but she was a very strong, outspoken woman. And she had every right to be. I'll just leave it at that. So her guidance message is this: get real. What is your truth? Truth telling matters. Being able to hear the truth matters just as much. The embodiment message: tell the truth. Each person has their own version, which I love that. That's so true. Speak yours. Words have impact. Remember that we all have triggers. Think before you speak and listen with compassion. Be gentle and stay calm in truth-telling conversations. And the goddess declaration or mantra is, the truth is my friend. And of all of that stuff that I got, what was kind of jumping off the page at me, which is what happens when I read these, is speak your truth. I mean, I said a lot of stuff and other people might benefit from it, but that's what I got from that. That's the message out of all that is for you, I believe. But you decide, right? You know what message is for you. And then I also got Queen Mother Nanny, and she's lovely because everybody in this deck is just gorge. You can't see it because everything's just wacky, but you can kind of see her. And her message is liberation. And again, I won't read the whole thing on her and who she is, but she was a spiritual leader, and she helped free over 800 slaves.
Wow.
Queen Mother Nanny's guidance message: break free. Your dreams hold the power and keys to your liberation. You are freedom herself. Rise up. The embodiment message: you deserve to feel free. What do you imagine for yourself? Daring to manifest your dreams is a part of personal liberation. Find your own personal liberation codes in your soul's unspoken desires. Life is too short to live within someone else's story. Divine blessings and magic are on your side. Enjoy your freedom fully, or enjoying your freedom fully is the best gift to your ancestors. And the goddess declaration or mantra is, my dreams empower me.
Oh, wow.
This is about feeling free to do what you want to show, shine, and be. That's what I'm getting out of that. And to not, really, it's about limiting yourself and not doing that. So I don't know how or what, if that applies to you at all, but that's what I was getting from it. So that's your message. I hope you got something out of that.
Oh yeah, she loved, she says, I am Queen Mother Nanny. Nanny. She loves the message. My dreams empower me. Yes. And there was, just all hard. She really and also definitely
Nice.
relaxed the last couple of weeks, relieving anxiety. So, and Brenda had beautiful comments, stepping into your own light and shining your gifts.
That's
So
the
that was
hermit.
like that card.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
wonderful
and at the
readings.
bottom of
Hello,
the deck,
hello,
Ginger
Sharon.
Faye, you had Oshun, Fearless Love. So just wanted to mention that. And I always want to mention when she pops up because she's a favorite. So, and I did feel like that was you because when my eyes are drawn to it like that, it's like, okay, mention this as well. But I'm done.
Beautiful. She says, "Thank you, lovely ladies. You're so welcome."
You're welcome, dear.
And we had Sharon from Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot popped in. Hello. And oh, Beth. Oh my goodness. Hi. It's been a while. Thanks for popping in and joining us. And Gerald said, "Oh, Shun, one of my favorites." Yes. So here we go. And oh, ladies doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Next one is Lindsay. My friend Lizzie, she doesn't live too far from me, so she is the next one for cards. And I already went ahead and shuffled for Lindsay to keep it. And it's really this. I couldn't. I
What
saw
is
the
her
cards
name
next to
again?
each other. Lindsay.
Okay.
Lindsay.
Okay.
Want me to put it up for you?
Just for 2
She's
seconds,
right
I want
there.
to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. She just went through a surgery and she's healing up nicely and starting therapy, physical therapy. And I'm so happy she's excited about life and getting back out into it. So that's wonderful. I hope you didn't mind me sharing that, Lindsay, but that's just really great energy. And the cards here, now I pulled from 2 different decks. They're both Colette Baron reads, but the first one was from the Good Tarot. And the card that I got was here. Let me just, should have just done this here. There we go. And the first card I got from the first deck is the Call, which is usually a judgment, a regular tarot. And what's so cool, I won't read this one yet, but the first card from the other deck was Call of the Muse. So, girl, you're being called. The call is about purpose and true prosperity. This is listening to the call of what it is that you truly desire, what you want to do in your life, what makes you happy, your bliss. It is you're being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with yourself. So, for the themed question being, how can I, you know, be more, get, okay, what's holding me back from being my authentic self is that just listening to what it is that, um, listening to what your heart says, what your dreams are, and kind of like discarding, anything that's negative about for others that might be in your circle that would want to hold you back. And not just others in your circle, but from yourself as well. As I'm looking at these, I'm really feeling like this is more about you holding yourself back. Um, but right now it's the cards are saying, listen to that call. And it says here, I'm required to step forward into my true self, expressing that through my actions. I need to trust that my life has a purpose, that I am enough. So once you can embrace that and start listening to yourself calling to you to start loving yourself, to start embracing who you are and life again and what makes you happy, I get the muse, the call of the muse. So she's telling you to get up, dance, dance if you really want to, because I know pretty soon you're going to be able to start getting around mobily a lot better. But just listening to that higher yourself, your muse, what there, that inner creativity, what it is that makes you happy, what you want to create in your life, whether it's doing a hobby, if it's something to do with cooking or baking or crocheting, or even just maybe exploring and studying things that call to you, that call to your heart, call to your spirit, things that really resonate with you. And the last card I got was the Spirit of Gratitude. And that will help because here, let me get that glare off there for a second. So, Spirit of Gratitude, there's that beautiful cup and that blossoming flower. So when we start to become more authentically of who we are, listening to what it is our heart is saying, listening to what our dreams are telling us, and what our soul is calling us to do, we have that spirit of gratitude. We're thankful for every little thing that we have, that especially when times get hard. So you hold on to that spirit of gratitude. Let that blossom in your heart. And I love that it's a pink flower too, because the pink is one of the colors of our heart chakra. So again, finding that self-love, listening to that beautiful creative side of yourself, and letting her express and share what it is that she wants to share with um, yourself as well as with others. And I will leave it at that. And she says, I'm learning this process, positive vibes. There you go. So, who is next?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Again. So this is what I'm getting. Is that okay? So what we're reading on is what is holding you back from being your true authentic self, right? And I think that I get, and these go so well together, but I get the 8 of Pentacles. So you are sitting there and you're working on yourself. I mean, and your head's down and you're really working on yourself and getting everything perfect. And it's almost like I almost get the sense of when you feel like you're perfectly, like you've got it all down, then you can be your authentic self. But I want you to know that you are your more authentic self when you are flawed, because we are all flawed. So, yes, keep working on yourself, working on your healing, but know that I feel like there could be a wall that you might hit. Like there might be, you know, how you take 2 steps forward and you take a step back in our healing process. I'm on my 5th year of healing from a major surgery, but and I try so hard. It's like I'm really the 8 of Pentacles trying to heal, and it stops me sometimes in my tracks, and I get, and I have a little bit of anxiety about it. It's like, why isn't this going faster than it should be? Because I'm worried about this. Did they do something wrong? They put my head back on crooked. So just so if you see my head is like going one way or the other, it's my head's on crooked. But you are the creator of your life. And it even has, well, there's 9 stars up here. So you have all these orbs all around you, and I'm saying to you what I'm feeling like, what's stopping you from being your authentic self is calling in your power and creating your authentic self. So call in the orbs. I was doing a video the other morning on Thursday with Terry, and there was an orb sighting, there was an orb over my head right when I said a word. So maybe try and work with some orbs to bring in that healing energy. And it's all coming through the crown chakra, because, and the reason why I say I feel like you're going to hit there might be some brick walls that you might hit, but because I get, the death card. I'm not saying you're going to die. That's not what the death card is. It's not literal death. It's just a big change. So it's like, yes, you've had this surgery and it's going to really change your life, and most likely for the better. And I felt like with this card, I wanted to call in some gentler energy, because you're working so hard, working, healing, working, calling in the orbs. I am the creator, and hitting these walls or finding this new self. And so I'm going to the namaste, and it says, and here's the card. right there. They're all different. You're supposed to gaze into them and just see what you see. But I'll read it to you. It says, Namaste blessing. The divine in me acknowledges the divine in you. I bow to you and honor your inner light of pure and unconditional love. Eternal joy be with you through this serendipitous blessing. So you are being serendipitously blessed with all of these orbs. Call in your orbs, your power. Be the creator of your healing, and be at one with it, and bring in that joy. And I have a nose itch. Whenever my nose itches when I'm doing a reading, that means I'm on the nose. Sorry.
Yep.
There you go.
And I had the stars and the lights around her too. So you're surrounded
that was
by
great,
your
Jane.
guides and the angels and everything. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, and I just lost her first name.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
So I pulled from the Flowers of the Night Oracle. While I was shuffling from this deck, the Death card flew out. I put it back in, finished shuffling, pulled my cards. I got Restore, which is very similar to the Death card. Not super different, honestly. So, and the cards that came out as well, I got sensuality, influence, and protection. There's something here that holds you back from being your authentic self that you're not doing. And this is something, sometimes when I see sensuality, I think of art. I don't think of other things. And then I have influence. And then I also have protection. This is coming up that you are protected. And I'm getting this is more ancestral for some reason. But anyhow, there's something here that you can do that's going to bring you, or that's going to bring you more into your authenticity. I don't know where you, I don't know anything about you. I feel like that's not you, and maybe it is. I'm wondering if that's you on your profile or not, because I saw,
Yep,
not that that's going to be right, but I saw you in my mind's eye, and that's not what I was seeing. But I digress. Like maybe it's a child or something like that. And then I also pulled from, I'm going to come back to this in just a second, but I pulled from the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck, of course, and I pulled a card that I've never pulled before, and I haven't read it yet, but I just glanced at it. And I got, and it's so, and I'm getting chills now, I got creativity. This is Seven Sisters. Yep. The message is very clear.
Clear. Mm-hmm.
So this is what this says. And I am going to read about what I haven't done it with the other ones, but I'm going to read because it always tells who this is. And then the message, this is actually, well, obviously Seven Sisters, but this is what it says. The Seven Sisters were a mystical Nolans family of identical master psychics and conjure women who never aged. But were they? Were the Seven Sisters one shape-shifting woman or seven? Time will never tell. So this book is mostly goddesses. There's also some queens, and then there's some regular people. And then we have this, amongst a couple other things. Very interesting. So this is the guidance message of the Seven Sisters. Create, create, create. You come from conjurers and creators. Your blood remembers. Use your gifts to multiply your magic. I'm covered in goosebumps. You are a cosmic creatrix and creative force. The embodiment message. You are a divine nation within one person. How creative do you allow yourself to be? break out of your comfort zone and into your creative fertility. You have the power that creates planets. So yes, you are creative. No one else's opinion matters here. Let your inner child play to awaken your creativity. Creating is birthing, is manifesting. Creating is birthing, is manifesting. And the goddess declaration or mantra is, I am a creative visionary. So again, you had death come out and you had restore. Yes, there's something that you absolutely need to be working. This is part of your spiritual journey, to be doing whatever this is. Protection, you are protected. And again, before I even read that, I was like, oh my God, because this is ancestral. You probably have people around you on the other side, your family, whatever, guiding you to do whatever this thing is. Sensuality, maybe it's dance. Maybe it's paint. I don't know what it is. Influence, and influence with protection. You've got the dead around you, your guides, whatever this is, to help you, this resurgence to restore whatever this is that's in your blood to do. Hopefully you already know. If this sounds crazy, meditate on it. I don't know, but I am like profoundly sure this is an accurate message for you. That's what I got.
You're muted, Heather.
Sorry. I was just saying, you know, I've known Lindsay for about 4 or 5 years now, and that's just, wow, that was a powerful reading. All of us.
Is she said anything, or does she identify with that, or?
Well,
Or does she need to meditate?
She loves that. Which deck is that? I'm not sure, Beth, which deck you were.
She was talking to
me?
Yeah, yours.
Yeah.
Your goddess deck, I believe.
African Goddess Rising by Abiola Abrams. Get it. It's amazing.
You know, Lindsay loves it.
If you're contemplating, you will not be disappointed. It's fabulous. This is the most powerful deck I've ever owned.
And Lindsay says, I know my ancestors have been guiding me for a while. So
same here.
Yeah, she's been through a lot. I mean, I know
Which
a lot
could
of
also be all those orbs that I saw above her head too.
I think you have some sort of an artistic or creative outlet that will help you connect with your ancestors or guides or whatever. But it'll be through that. I mean, this is not the same thing, but like when I'm sitting there quilting, I'm a quilter. I got my mom, I got my grandma, I got everybody all, boop, 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 you know, so it could be that too. But anyways, good luck.
Yeah, Brenda says she's an old soul. And I leveled up on my spiritual path last year. It's only up from here. Yeah, girl, we really need to get a cup of coffee. She's only like, 20 minutes or half hour maybe away from me. Not that far up. So yeah, we got to play catch up and have an afternoon. She's got a beautiful double wide trailer that's just absolutely gorgeous. Aww. And she's got this cute little fur baby named Lola. She's a long-haired dachshund. Oh my God. Lola's so cute.
Dachshunds are hilarious. I love dachshunds.
Yes.
They're little comedians.
Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for all these beautiful readings. We still have 3. We have Rossi's Den, Isadora, and then Brenda Tarot. So are we all still good? We're at 9:45.
I'm fine. We'll just do the next 3.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just 3 now.
Yeah, and then I'm just,
Okay, well, questions are closed?
Yeah.
Okay. This girl's trying to get rock. But I'm good. They do, Gerald. Again, you're an artist. He keeps saying what he does is quilting, which technically it is, but it's like he's creating like art.
Quilting is art.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is too. Technique. I mean, technically it's art, but I mean, it's like landscapes and whatever. It's like, that's what I don't think of when I think of quilting. Beautiful.
That's cool. So next person we're reading for is Rossi Stanley. Her name is Rosanna.
Rosanna. Oh yeah, Rosanna.
Rosanna, are you still here with us? Just double checking, because I know we're taking them.
Yeah, that's true. A couple people might not still be. I feel like at least one person might not be here. That's true, Gerald. I know. As soon as I was saying, I was like, you know what? I need to just shut up.
Hi, Jonathan. Aloha. Yep, she's here. There we go. Okay. You're next, Rosanna. And so I already pulled cards for Rosanna to help us move along a bit. So, Rosanna was keeping you from your authentic self. I feel like I got the success card, which is Secret Spring, and it's really beautiful. I mean, we have another lantern, and I feel like you have had many successes up until now, but like a lot of us, because it's human. A lot of times we compare our success to success that others have, and sometimes we feel like, or what we planned when we were younger. I know I'm going through this myself. When we're younger, we vision ourselves to be at a certain place, doing a certain something, having certain things by a certain time, and sometimes that's not always quite how things work out. But this card is saying that you do have success. This beautiful secret spring is that emotional well that you have within yourself, that intuition, that divine feminine. It's very strong. It's a guiding light for you. Your intuition, your higher self is very strong. You listen to it, and so she's kind of like hovering there, and it's almost like she's kind of like pointing to the light, to the lantern, reminding you that even if you may not have the success that you envisioned, you are still successful. You still have that light within you, and you can still keep moving forward. And the next card that I have, which may be keeping you from seeing the success that you've had, or you feel like you're being held back, I have is healing. I got the bear spirit. And bears are also considered a strong feminine energy. Mama bears, very protective, but they're also very healing as well. And so you may have been going through a period of time that you needed healing, or you're still going through that right now, or you're starting to work on a path to healing. We're constantly healing from different things in our lives that we've experienced. And sometimes that kind of darkens our perception of, success, or what we have or haven't succeeded in. But the next two cards are just really beautiful. I got the bluebell fairy. And she's about gratitude. And she's, again, being showered in this beautiful golden light. It's like she's being reminded that, connection to spirit, through the messages that she's receiving, the healing that she's receiving. And what's really important is gratitude to help you through this time of healing, whether it's a physical healing, a spiritual, emotional, or possibly even all of them, because one does affect the other. Just keep that sense of gratitude. This is like, I think, the second or third time a gratitude card has come out tonight. Even during tough times, nights of, what they call the dark night of the soul, or moving into shadow work, just remembering to hold that sense of gratitude for what we do have as we move forward. And the last card I have is the Spirit Guardian of Winter, which is retreating. So right now you may need to just kind of, or you may already be in the process of retreating within yourself. This isn't a bad thing. This is something that, especially if there's a healing card that's coming up, with everything that is going on in the world, what goes on in our personal lives just compounds it a lot of times. And so the card suggesting that taking time to retreat, go within yourself. Even if you can do an actual physical retreat, you may have, the financial means to maybe go take a small vacation or a trip somewhere, or just maybe, create a nice little nesting area in your room, and just, surrounding yourself with things that make you feel good, books, candles, crystals, listen to your favorite music, and just going within, and meditating, being with yourself, journaling, automatic writing, all these things to help us with the healing process. A gratitude with writing too, creating a gratitude journal or a list to be grateful for. And so as you start writing and start writing what you're grateful for, then other things will come up that and with a snow globe, you know what happens when we shake a snow globe, all that snow comes flying up and we're caught within that. So with this writing, taking this time to retreat, exploring the healing, a lot of things may be up and going on in and around you and within yourself. And that's where it's really important to retreat, let that snow settle, let that go into that, that peaceful mind, that go into your practicing mindfulness, going into that place of peace and retreat and meditation, and just remembering, like with Lindsay's reading, when she said, I am enough, we all are enough. Remembering that and accepting that we all heal at a different pace, we all grieve at a different pace. There's no timeline for that. We can't rush it. We have to do it within our own terms, and not to be afraid to ask help, because you have the fairy here guiding the light to you on the lantern. You have the bear with you, the mother bear standing next to you, guiding you. You have the blueberry. I keep saying blueberry. I don't know if I got blueberries on the mind, or maybe you like blueberries, but I have the bluebell fairy also showing you to look up, see the light coming down, let that guide you, let that bless you, let that connect with your guides, and just going in and retreating and calling all of them in with you if you need, because they're there. We just have to call them in to help us through it. And that's where I'll end with my reading. I hope that helped, Rosanna.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you the question. Okay. So, what is holding you back, Rossi? Rossi's den is using your voice and taking it out into the world. It's. I feel like your own saying what you think, say, do, standing in your power. Maybe, feeling like I don't know that much about all of the things, but what you do know is very worthy. And so what's blocking you from being your authentic self is you are not speaking to the world and letting people hear what you have to say. Um, I feel this. I feel like your message really needs to be heard. That you have a message, but you are blocking yourself from putting it out there for fear that it's not a good enough message. You're not worldly enough. And what you need to do to get over that blockage is liberation. Liberate that word, that knowledge, that and you are, you have a watchful eye over you that's guiding you. Think of this as a big guide, and all of this purple using your third eye, so we don't have to worry about what we're saying with our throat, as long as what we're saying with our third eye, what we are seeing with our third eye. And you might be going, I don't know if I see from my third eye, or I don't know, I don't know that much about those things. And I love doing readings for people that I don't know that much about, personally, because what you need to do is hang in there and see from a different perspective, that your perspective is valid and real. So it may take just a little bit of while, just hang in there. This guy is not stuck here. He is not tied. And it's also creating a 4, which is like your foundation. So it's like, look at your foundations differently and see them from a different perspective. And
I love that hangman, by the way.
I know, isn't he kind of cool? Our hanged one. Yeah. Non-binary deck, but and so I wanted to pull because I feel like you're not speaking and using your third eye, and that's what's holding you back possibly from it is just the fear. And but see, look, and oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't even think about it because I have this 4 there in this foundation. 4s are about foundation and stuff. Look, here's a tree, which is all about foundations, and love yourself, love your tree, love who you are. You are valid, and all this pink energy that it's around you, that's the higher heart chakra. So, we've got our heart, the higher heart chakra, not the green healing. I mean, there is some green here, but and in this card it says blessing of good fortune, rich and rewarding experiences bring you increased spiritual awareness at this time. Good fortune flows to you as your oh wow, I didn't even read the card. You yeah, it says flows to you as your third eye opens. You are inspired, feeling totally at peace. Life is a beautiful tapestry woven in threads of love. So what's holding you back? Your own voice and connection to your third eye and believing what you are seeing. But believe what you see and feel. And that's what I have.
Nice.
And
Heather,
really quick, I
go.
know I saw I was doing X, my thing dropped down. Beautiful. Just really quick. Thank you, Flowing, for putting in everybody's channels. I appreciate that. So
yeah, thank you, Flowing.
And also Willow joined us this evening. So thank you for popping in, Willow. It's good to see you, sweetheart. And all yours.
So mine is very similar to Jane's, which is cool. So, and once again, I keep doing this tonight. What is this gal's name again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a brain fart. This is Rosanna. It's Rossi. So yeah,
Rosanna.
Rosanna.
So what is this? What holds you back from your authentic self? So I don't know if you have apprehension or anxiety, or well, who doesn't have anxiety in this day and age? Everybody does to some degree. But you have tranquility here, right? And this is like this is part of what is being suggested, that you find or figure out a way, that kind of thing. The divine talks through you. It's there. I don't know if you're already aware of it or not, but yes, absolutely. You are a mystic. Whether or not you've embraced it, I don't know. There's the elusive Chihuahua in the background for anybody that's a mini dog person. She doesn't show often.
Lulu.
Lulu's making an appearance, so I'll call her out. And you, the overall energy, you are surrounded by the white light. You're protected to go deep with this, look into it. It's all there. But again, you are a mystic, or whatever label you want to give it. Divinity, the divine talks through you. You are connected. You are hooked up. Now, I don't know if you're missing some of it because you need to come into this place of tranquility, quietude, meditate, whatever label you want to stick on it, that helps for folks like me that are wound too tight. And you've got to relax a little bit, right, to hear it. You're surrounded by white light. This is the overall energy, right? And I know this deck, so this is what this is. You are protected. It is safe in case this is, in fact, anxiety that you have around, like maybe dropping in, or like you've gotten any things, or it feels kind of whatever. This is part of what is supposed to be your authentic self, to embrace this, right? This whole, mystic, whatever label you want to put on it. And then, of course, I pulled from the African Goddess Rising Oracle, and I once again got Nandi. She's talking about truth, standing in your truth, being what you're meant to be. But we'll go ahead and read a little bit of it. I won't read the whole thing because you've probably been here and heard it already. Get real. What is your truth? Truth telling matters. Being able to hear the truth matters just as much. And that includes from spirit and the divine and whatever's trying to come into you. Speak your words. Words have impact. Tell the truth. Each person has their own version. Remember that we all have triggers. Think before you speak and listen with compassion. Be gentle and stay calm in truth-telling conversations. And remember, the truth is my friend. I think this message is more about, I mean, it was in there, but this is more, I was getting this as soon as I looked at it. This is more about embracing this thing that's going to help you be more your authentic self, which is all of this woo-woo stuff. I think you're interested in it, but I don't know how much you dip into it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But that's what I'm getting from the cards. So that's your message.
No,
Yeah.
you're on. Oh, go ahead, Jane.
No, I was gonna say, you feel like there's a disconnect, and you're working on listening to your guides. If you feel like,
there
here we
you go.
The
Exactly,
silence-
honey. That's how I am, and this all makes sense.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say about that, because this is what I was gonna speak to. The way to stop your mind from running. We know that when our tongue is up against the roof of our mouth, we're thinking too much. So be mindful of where your tongue is, and even force your tongue to lay flat in your mouth when you're meditating. You feel that tongue go up to the roof of your mouth, bring it back down again. And that is a helpful way of
I never heard of that.
Also, something else you can do, if you have a wooded area anywhere near you, or a lake or a stream or anything like that, you go by yourself. Don't take your dogs with you. If you have dogs like me and you take them everywhere, go by yourself. Make a special whatever and sit quietly in nature. I guarantee you will chill out and everything will wind down. You can also pick something to look at and just kind of sit quietly and just listen to what's going on. You don't have to go into complete quietude and just, focus on the breath and all that. It's fabulous if you can. And obviously try what Jane is saying as well. But for me, what I just described works very well. And it's more my speed, whatever. And I get what I need doing that. So connecting with nature, if that's your bag, it definitely is mine.
I like what Flowing just said. Think through your heart. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is why I love having chat interact with us, because they bring so much to all the readings, to everybody. We all have that wisdom to share. Really, it's beautiful readings tonight, ladies. Thank you so much.
It's been fun.
Really quick, we did have Willow pop in after our conversations with Willow. So welcome, Willow. Trying to get Willow on my channel. Come hang with us.
Oh, look, and Jonathan's even saying, yes, tongue position corresponds to the 5 elements. Touching the tongue to the roof of the mouth is connected with fire. Yeah, which would make you think a lot. Yeah.
Wow, that's something new to me. I like that. Oh, and Willow has a lambeth in her backyard. Very nice.
Ooh, I want to make one in mine.
I love when everybody comes and shares knowledge, even like little words of wisdom. I love that. Thank you to improve my community. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so next we have Isadora. And Allyson, did you need to see her name and her? Well, she doesn't have a picture. But
sorry, my baby boy.
Oh, is she a Libra?
Maybe. So I know you like to see the face or the name.
I do. I just, yep.
Okay, so I already went ahead and shuffled for Isadora. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, just do a little stretch here.
Aw, I was like, what is that?
Squeaky, squeaky. Now she's got the dog's attention. Where was that? Where'd that come
It's
from?
for Miss Charlotte. Miss Charlotte.
Oh, hello, Miss Charlotte. I don't recognize you, but welcome. Oh, her puppy dog's got glowing green eyes. Woohoo!
Isadora Smith. Isadora
So,
Smith. Isadora Smith. Oh,
So,
can I mute?
Isadora, I have a merry motive. And I'm going to go ahead because I don't get this one too often. What's holding you back from being your authentic self? Actually, no, I'm not going to use the book. A merry motive. So, what motivates you? You want to be your authentic self, but you are questioning your motives. It's kind of like stepping back and doing like, okay, who am I? Why do I want to say this? What do I want to do? So that might be, again, the overthinking thoughts. Um, it's beautiful too because I'm trying to look at this picture because I don't get this card too often, and here I have a wonderful little gift from Shan. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to see if there is a figure. She's not fully formed yet, so that's cool. So you're developing what your motives are to move forward. I think you're developing or questioning your motives about what you want to share, what you want to speak. I think for a lot of us, it's being afraid to speak our truth about what we, because we're like with Brene Brown was saying in the beginning of her book, we're concerned about, well, what do I have to say that has importance, or if what I share my truth is that going to, like she said, piss people off, and is it going to upset them? Do I want to kind of, put a different perspective out there? So it feels like you're questioning your motives about what you want to share and speak. And then I also got the divine matrix. So I'm feeling like it has to do with spirituality, sharing how you feel, expressing what you think and feel about the universe, how it works. Being in chat and seeing a lot of shows. There's a lot of readers with different perspectives, guides of theirs that have different perspectives. So sometimes it may feel like we kind of sit back and say, well, who am I to say? And a lot of we can't really do that. We're holding back sharing our voice, our truth, and what we share may really benefit and help others, or at least keep the conversation going and show that we can all share our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs respectfully, especially now in the world where, everything is like ridiculed, and, your people are singled out for having something that's a different perspective of what somebody else might have. It's like if you're not in the norm, or you're not following, the social trends, especially things like that on media, we tend to, at least I know, like hold back and not want to share. Um, because, and then the next card, exposed and revealed. We're afraid to show and share what we believe, or think or feel, because we feel like we might be too exposed. Again, like on social media, a lot of people do tend to overexpose themselves. Um, and I think for some of us, we might be afraid that if we do that, some sort of harm or backlash or something will come back on us. But in this case, I know, Isadora, that wouldn't be with you, because the last card I had that was on the bottom is healing the heart. You have a beautiful heart, you have a beautiful soul, and you want to help people to help heal their hearts, but you're holding back and not sharing these things with people, because of fear. I think of, feeling like, do I have the right to say something? What if I'm judged? Again, it's the fear of speaking our truth, being afraid to be vulnerable, exposing our hearts, exposing who we are. It's good to have a healthy boundary, and I kind of like that too, with the divine matrix, because there's that circle within a circle, and then within. But as long as we keep that energetic spiritual boundary around us with our guides, we shouldn't be afraid of sharing our love and compassion for one another and for ourselves. So don't be afraid to share that with with others. You know, one small hello or just seeing somebody and telling them, you know, have a beautiful day, or can just affect a person's mood so much in that day, and that they may go ahead and share that with somebody else, and we have that beautiful rippling effect. So don't be afraid to show your heart and share your heart. Um, and that's what I'll leave at. So I'll go to Jane.
Hi, Isadora. All right, I'm going to tell you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm getting for you is you. What's holding you back from being your authentic self is anxiety. It is worrying. What will people think of me if they really knew exactly who I am? Because who you are alchemy. You are this temperance. You are mixing the fire and the water, and you are creating this. It's creating alchemy. You are an alchemist, and that has a lot to do with the Libra in you is not wanting to put out the fire, and not wanting the water to turn to steam. So you want to mix them up perfectly. And this is divine alchemy. And yes, you said the truth. This is all about the truth. And what's stopping you is, yes, you feel like the truth needs to be out there. So put your truth out there. Don't feel anxious or have anxiety around your truth, because it belongs to you. It is your truth. And then I pulled one more card, and I just love this too, because um, Heather had that heart card. And if you can see this, she's got this big green heart in her center. So she really is coming at her alchemy, her gifts from her heart, from your heart. And then I pulled from the Starseed Oracle, and I got the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. So you are bringing the unconscious to light with your truth. So don't have anxiety over that, because the truth is the only thing that is real. And there are so many people who sit in that unconscious space, and they don't know the truth. So you are bringing in to the unconscious, bringing the consciousness to people with your divine alchemy and your heart-centered truth. So don't be afraid. Don't get into that anxiety. Let your heart shine the truth, and shine that truth on everything, because you're going to wake a lot of people up. You're going to shake a lot of people up, but shaking wakings, when you shake somebody, you wake them. How do we wake up somebody that's sleeping? We shake them up, right? You got your kid, like, hey, it's time to get up, get ready for bed. You shake them up a little bit. So that's what you're doing. You're shaking. It's time to shake some people up, just to wake them up. Shake them up to wake them up. That's what I
Thank you. That's great. Allyson.
So, I don't know what's with me tonight. What is her first name again?
Isadora.
Isadora. So Isadora, I'm feeling like, and this doesn't have to be a broad blanket. This could just be in a certain part of your life, or maybe it is a broad blanket. Apply it as it makes sense. Normally, I would probably have a little bit more of a feeling, but admittedly, I'm kind of tired. So I'm not really maybe tuning in as much as I would have earlier. But nonetheless, I get the message and all of that. But I'm not sure and you would know anyhow, is this what part of your life? Is it in your whole life? What it is? So this is about, there's a lack of pleasure somewhere. That's the overall energy. And again, we're asking what's holding you back from your authentic self. So this can pleasure, as in like enjoyment or fun or spontaneity or whatever it is. There's a lack of this. It's being clarified by passion. So, you know, having something to be passionate about or feeling passionate about. And I also got intimacy. Yes, obviously these could go together, but not necessarily. And this does not have to be sex at all. The overall energy, pleasure. This is something that is lacking. And I have intimacy and passion. And this can be a lack of like being willing to be intimate with anything or in something. Is that her companionship? Okay, so it is. And so this is something that, and can we even say that word anymore?
Sex, yeah.
I just say whatever I want. Okay, so sexual expression.
Yeah, don't worry about language.
Okay, is part of our authentic self, right? Some more than others, right? In, you know, for a variety of reasons. I won't even go down that winding road because it's late and I'll just yammer. So anyways, and there's a lack of, I'm believing this is a lack of, because it makes sense that it would be because of the other cards that it's with, is some sort of strength to do this. So maybe you have anxiety around it, or maybe you just, you know, you're not wanting to have companionship or whatever it is. And again, apply it how you want. I'm going to leave the companionship out of it. I'm just going to read the cards and you can apply it to your situation. So this is the thing, is having this pleasure in your life in some sort of way. Passion, intimacy, and the strength, I'm going to say, to do so, to figure out a way to allow yourself, or whatever it is. I'm not even going to put those words out there, but this is what that is. I don't think that these go together, but maybe they do. Then I did pull you. Usually they go together, but sometimes they get two completely different things. And I haven't pulled this one yet. This is from the African Goddess Rising, and I don't even know how to pronounce her name. And I'm trying to get everybody's names, but these are obviously not my native tongue. And some of them are very detailed, and they are from different African countries. And then some of them are not even in Africa. But anyhow, this is Inkosana Azana. I'm destroying this, so I'm not even going to try, but it's Inkosazana, and her message is celestial alignment.
Oh, wow. She's beautiful.
She is.
Oh,
And
wow.
she looks African, but she's very fair skinned, which is interesting. At first glance, I thought maybe it was different, because again, there's Egyptian in here and a couple other things as well, but she might just be a true goddess, and that's why she almost looks translucent, and her skin is rainbow-esque. Like if you look at her legs, her arms are flesh colored, but actually she's got rainbow throughout her whole skin, her body. So I believe that she's probably was not ever human, but let's see. She was a high priestess. She's the healer of healers and the teacher of teachers, whose love for humanity makes the corn grow. She dwells in foamy waters, but is known as the heavenly princess. As above, so below is celestial alignment. So this is her guidance message. Your natural path is to be in alignment with your own divinity. No one can take from you what they didn't give you. Oh, this is lining up with the other message. Yeah. Okay, and the embodiment message. How do you want to feel? You think often about what you want, but goddess energy speaks to us in feelings. Yeah, this is all part of one and the same. Celestial alignment is being in sync with the energetic feeling, the frequency of the sacred. Everything that you desire is in that frequency. Match it with your feelings. That is the energy of God, Goddess. And the declaration or the mantra of, I can't say her name. I am always being guided in the right direction.
Beautiful.
So I hope that was helpful. That's your message.
Yeah, she says, beautiful card. Willow said, Allyson, you are beautiful, so don't worry. You're always clear when you read for others.
Oh, thank you.
She wants to investigate with you sometime because she feels you are familiar in spirit to her. And this too,
Oh, wow.
Jonathan just brought you up to 700 subscribers.
Oh, thank you. I've been going up and down, but thank you so much, Jonathan.
Yes, thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, dear.
Isadora, beautiful card. Flowing, she reflects
Awesome.
reflects the light. And Miss Charlotte says she saw a rainbow tonight, so she'll take that message for herself too.
Oh,
So
yes,
that's
because this
beautiful.
the rainbow is all over her. Let's see, Inkosazana. That might be how you say it. Actually, might have actually just got it right or closer to it, anyhow. But yeah, I'll look that up. I've googled some of these goddesses because the names. I'm just like, oh.
And Isadora says, I'm stuck in a rut and don't know how to get free. So that's.
Yeah, we've all been there, dear. Yep.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Okay, we have one reading left. Are you ladies okay for the last one?
Yes, I can do one more.
Okay. So I know, Allyson, you're drooping. I usually don't go this
Yeah, I'm
late,
tired.
So,
That's all right. I'm good.
All righty. So our last reading for tonight is Brenda from Brenda Tarot. And I believe Brenda's still with us. She does a lot of astrology readings for all the signs on her channel. So she's usually very spot on for Sagittarius. So I like popping in and seeing her Sagittarius when she gets up. And Jonathan says he understands. He says the up and down thing. Thanks algorithms for unsubscribing people from my channel for no reason. So
I think I've had a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Mine's always
I don't know how it all works.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Who is this again? I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
Brenda.
Tarot. Yes. Miss Brenda. I think she's still here. So Brenda, what's holding you back from your authentic self? So I got meandering pathway and it's flow. I also got crystal cave and trust and Pegasus and transcending. So I'm just wondering, feeling, because you are, because Brenda does Reiki, she does, wonderful tarot reads. She's just really in touch. And so I'm thinking with the meandering pathway, with a meandering pathway, it goes this way and it goes that way. And so I'm not sure if you are kind of feeling that you may want to try something new, if you're maybe holding yourself back from maybe wanting to pursue another form of healing or divination. I know I just found out that Brenda is Cree ancestry, and she shared a beautiful picture of her in her regalia when she did a dance with her people last week. Just really beautiful. So I feel like this meandering path has taken you through so many different aspects of your abilities with spirit, people that you connect with, people that you help, you connecting with your ancestors and honoring them. So you may feel like maybe your flow might be not as smooth as it is or has been, but I think too with the flow card is just kind of allowing things to go and just allowing things to flow naturally. because we had the trust card, and there she is with her beautiful crystals, her holding her light. And I love how that big beautiful light is like right in her stomach and her solar plexus. So she's there, she's holding, she's honoring that sacred energy of the solar plexus, your place of power. um, Possibly feeling like you need to have more trust and faith in your abilities and your readings. um, Maybe that might be um, where you feel like your flow isn't as strong as it used to be. But with the last card, we have transcending, we have Pegasus. So you're being carried up in your rising up. So, like we were talking about earlier with the resonance of the earth being so much higher. And I think it's causing a lot of us to raise our vibration and raise our abilities and our connections to spirit and to our higher power and our guides. So right now you may not feel like your messages may be as strong, or you're not sure which way you're going because of that meandering path. But just to know to let go, just go with the flow, go with the energy shifting that's taken place, and have that trust in yourself and in your abilities and in your power. And then that's what I have. So over to you, Jamie dear.
All right, Brenda. I. It's 10 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm getting straight to the point. I mean, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, in any way, shape, or form. But I feel
Can
like
I interrupt really quickly? I'm so sorry. My son had texted me and I missed it, but I didn't want to interrupt Heather. Who's the person's name that we're reading for?
Brenda.
Brenda, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Brenda, what is holding you back from being your authentic self? The patriarch. I am so sorry that this came. I feel like this is I feel like it's almost like being a woman in a man's world, and you're butting up against that patriarchal society. It's like and you work hard, but it's still, no matter how hard you work, it's like the patriarch is it's stuffing you down, and what it's doing is it's exhausting you. It's exhausting butting up against that patriarchal, I can't even talk anymore, um energy. But you have planted all these seeds, you're doing all the work, and maybe it is time to just take a little rest. I mean, you've been watering your garden, you've been looking at it, you've been doing everything, and I'm going to say, it's still, you're like, gosh, I'm just button up, I'm the why is this happening? So there's a rest that's going on there, and I do feel the wheel of fortune coming in. It brings you up, it brings you down. So where are you in this wheel? Are you on the upswing? Are you on the downswing? How are you feeling? I feel like you're feeling a little exhausted about butting up, and this is what's holding you back to being your authentic self. And I think you always are pretty straightforward, but there might be something that has just gotten in your way a little bit, as far as the patriarch is concerned. So reconnect to your higher consciousness, because sometimes we get so automatic, and everything comes to us automatically. We know we're connected. We know the cards we're doing. We know the astrology. We know the this. We know the that. But sometimes we have to reconnect to that higher consciousness, our super consciousness, and all of the planets that are out there in the cosmos. So what's holding you back is that connection to your higher consciousness, because you're working so hard, butting up against the patriarch, and wondering where the wheel is. Are you on the upswing or the downswing? And I'm just going to say, take some time. Take some time to really reconnect with your higher consciousness is what I'm feeling. I wanted to look at one more thing on the bottom of this deck. Oh, yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, you are very, you are doing the right thing. You're in the right place. You're very comfortable in what you're doing. But so I feel like that, it becomes automatic is what I'm feeling, and that the patriarch, there's some rest that needs to be done, and reconnecting to the higher consciousness is what could be your blocking you from being your authentic self.
Brenda, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, I'm getting slap happy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know
good this
I think
last
Brenda
one's gonna
left.
be.
So, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Last one.
So what's holding you back from your authentic self, Brenda? This is what I got, is commitment. So either it's a commitment that you're in, or it's a lack of being able to commit to something, right? Again, I'm sorry. I am I'm just very tired at this point. So, or it would probably be being pulled in one direction or the other, but I can't pick up on anything right now. But apply it how it makes sense for you. But the overall energy is about commitment, right? And this is what's holding you back from being your authentic self. This could be committing to a spiritual practice. It could be whatever but it's authentic self, right? That's really what we're talking about. So you might already know, you might not even need to think about it. But so I got commitment. I also got acceptance. So influence, passion. So there could be an influence in your life. This could be even a person that stands in your way to committing to something that maybe you know that you need to be committing to, but you're not. Kind of like we were talking about how you can have a partner that's, not on the spiritual path that you're on, and how that could be a conflict. It could be something like that. It could be something completely different, but that did just pop into my head, so I'm saying it. Anyways, acceptance, influence, and passion. So these are the things that are needed in some sort of way for this overall commitment to whatever it is. And I'm going to stop apologizing for not being able to pull this together better, but I'm just suddenly it's hitting me like a ton of bricks. So let's move on to the goddess energy, because that one always pulls through. And it's funny, your overall energy with this deck was commitment. Your message from the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck is Mojaji. Yes, Mojaji is how her name is pronounced. And it's about manifestation. I can get her close enough and it actually show. There it is.
I love the colors.
She's very happy and beautiful and robust. And I love the imagery of her, but it's showing up terrible on my camera, so I apologize. So let me just read about this woman. She is a conjurer, or was a conjurer, and a goddess. So Goddess Mojaji is the hereditary rain queen of South Africa's Balobedu people, a matrilineal queendom. Mojaji's daughters dance to the frequency of rain. Mojaji's. Yes, I said it correctly. Okay. I don't want to butcher her name. her guidance message is showers of blessings are yours. You are a rainmaker, master manifester, shapeshifter, alchemist, and sorceress. Open your hands and heart. Oh, that's what this is. Okay. So passion, influence, and acceptance were the cards, right? So yeah, and it says the embodiment message is yes, make it rain. You are manifesting big. This has been a long time coming. You are co-creating with spirit. Match the energetic frequency, the assay of your desire. You are magnetic and like attracts like. Raise your vibration to align with the sacred. Close your eyes and see your blessings. Feel them in your bones. Ask, believe, act, allow, receive. And the goddess declaration or the mantra is divine blessings flow to me so easily. So it's about committing to having this thing, to having this in your life, right? Because I'm now feeling like all of these are connecting to this passion, influence, and acceptance, accepting that you can have this, that this can happen for you, having the passion to go towards it. And there might be some sort of influence around you that has shown up. It could be a book, it could be a show that you watched, it could even be this reading possibly, even though it's not the best.
You're doing fine.
It actually could be the
sticking
message
it
from
out,
her.
both of you.
It could be the message from her, right? It actually could be. But anyhow, I hope this was helpful in some sort of way.
Yes, it was.
And I'm
I'm sure she'll appreciate that. I did text her on Facebook and let her know we did get to her reading, and it was the last one.
she's not here? Okay.
No, I thought she, then after we were.
And that might be part of it too, because I was a little, but anyways, whatever.
Well, she can come back.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I let her know.
I have noticed
so,
there is a difference if the person isn't there. The few times I've read and somebody wasn't even there, it does seem to impact what I get to a degree.
Yeah, because the connection
They're not
isn't
there.
Yeah. But it's late. Oh my God, 2 hours and 37 minutes.
It is, and I was fine till about 15 minutes ago, and now I'm like, whoo, I'm getting kind of loopy. I'm tired.
Yeah, and I can't speak straight. So, ladies, thank you. I will let you go. Everybody in chat, thank you for being
Great
here
to see you,
and
Jane.
joining us and supporting again to Jonathan. Thank you for getting Allyson to 700. That's awesome. Everyone, we appreciate you and love you. And good night.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.